Hey there, mate. I gotta share something that really helped me get a handle on our company's security policies, so sit tight, it's going to be a bit of a journey down memory lane. You remember how, about a year ago, my grandma had this little convo with me. Her grandkid, born and raised in the digital era, not a chance. I remember her asking about what I did for a living, and to be honest, it was a bit of a blur. I was talking about my job, trying to simplify it for her, and that's when I started thinking about explaining the concept of conditional access policies to those less acquainted with these virtual realms. So, let's roll back to that day in July. As I'm telling my grandma that I work with data safety and user access, that stuff about letting people into the company's apps and data, she starts asking, wait, isn't that like giving everyone the keys to the kingdom or something? This is where the conditional access policies come into the picture. Picture yourself managing access to a treasure chest, but there's no treasure, just digital resources your company relies on. Now, normally, I'd let everyone have a peek, but that's not really what conditional access is about. It's about being smart about who gets in, based on things like where they're at, what device they're using, and just how risky you think their presence by the door is. Now here's where it gets cool, and I tell her about this thing called Azure AD, basically a cloud-based directory where all of this plays out securely. We're in this grand, complex digital forest of data, right? Azure AD is like the map and compass keeping everything on track. So we talked a lot about Azure AD and how it uses these policies to create a user's access story based on where they are, their device's health, whether it's using multi-factor authentication that makes two ways the norm, not the exception. And I could explain risk scores like the ones they get in those horror movies about impending doom, but we know it's actually about how likely someone's trying to sneak through, so the policies are like the bouncers who check IDs and run with the red signs. I told her that if someone tries to come in from one of those sketchy countries, for instance, they hit a no entry sign. Or say we have a piece of unused office equipment that's a dead or infrequently used device, then it automatically gives a thumbs down. I've got her so hooked on the idea that I continued to dive deeper into scenarios, like how an access request during a company-wide emergency makes it through the doors with special clear signs. Of course, my grandma's no computer expert. She understood the essence of security being adaptive, like life. You can't keep the same policies all the time, they gotta change with the times. She nodded along, it was like she was in the story with me. I told her about the time I had to securely log in from a coffee shop because of a tight deadline. It seemed like a scene plucked right from those thrillers where the hero has to get in and get out fast, using a temporary authentication, because let's face it, in today's gig, a job doesn't wait till the next day. So, wrapping up an unforgettable talk I had in July with Grandma, I shared Azure's latest innovation, and you might know it, I told her TechLab for Tech. It's this amazing online spot to learn about all things tech, just like how she loved her knitting club, but for techie stuff. I thought she could join too. But let's not dwell on it, as it led me straight to the next adventure. Anyway, that's my tale of conditional access policies, how they act as the wise old guardians of your digital kingdom, ensuring that only the worthy ones gain entry based on their badges of honor. And for those of you who want to explore this topic or just brush up on your cybersecurity savvy, head over to neeraj.qzz.io and be sure to subscribe to TechLab. You'll kickstart your journey to becoming the next cyber guardian, equipped with the secrets of the digital age. Trust me, you are going to love it.